Numerous of the urban regions has a bacterial problem, while it doesn't have much of a it doesn't has a bacterial culture of. The numerous of these crazy with Walmart people follows its own rules. Numerous of those has understandings of what sympathy or reasonable pobable's understanding of sympathy, or reasonable pobable or understanding of what sympathy is of pobable, or rather instead of reasonable pobable, or rather for pobable, so instead of reasonable pobable understanding of sympathy of though those doesn't has it. If it doesn't has it, like a person that's crippled, would it at least identify itself as a cripple or work from there? It sort of didn't skip this identifying process. As the skip sort of signifies there are such steps, or probably there of steps of or probable of recent operation. 4 usually support to Hitler mentions to be sort of a distant topic. Then the level of cultural contamination got into the constitution level. The abomination at current are above nations. There are not shortage amount of these zombicists. They are above Hitler, more aggressive than Hitler. But cannot have John Oliver there producing comedy when Detroit goes down. Does his actions result to the problems solved? Sort of indirectly to here. As much as sort of the stuff was said, but it doesn't count, or probably has become this, or Nazis didn't have much of a non-Nazi choice, or probably much of different choices of what they are yet. But yet the consequences are settled on that. It's not necessarily on what they has had or probably much of choice. If noticing English itself, it's a twisted language that changed from Google Gaga. The Google Gaga expresses the same stuff, but it has to be certain this grammar standard. It is as arbitrary as nonsense. At the level of how these cook crabs alive, the vengeance alone from namely of heart of the swarm also. Reasonable probable the vengeance also from the heart of the swarm will be enough to destroy this entire fake, which is called mock humans. All of those are frauds. Some Zionist group invented the alphabet. Almost all of the inventions are by our guys. Reasonable probable or by common persons of, reasonable probable or by citizens of. Then there comes this mass among this originated from agriculture brooding spawns that waged a clone war against us. Because it doesn't have critical thinking, also lacking common sense, reasonable probable lacking sort of the strategicness. There are some that probably misidentified, although that's more so of cases of the glimpse of than proper of agriculture responsive. Our mentions are constantly evaluated against. Obongo himself is sort of a hijacked puppet to undermention the hideousness that are out there. He's also sort of a fool. That's where probably the irritation from Obongo comes from. Noticing a lot of these ethnic groups at this region of America, where a lot of these ethnic groups are rather mental institution names. They're all mental problems. What's their attitude with life? What's their approach? What do they believe in? How come they don't ask these questions? For them not to have an answer, because although they're very sort of, or of a case of a lot of the extremists are growing, they're fairly talkative. If they don't have the expression or probably the speeches of those, then they don't have an idea about it. Then what the heck are that? Reasonable probable, then what are those? They are killers. They're reasonable probable. There are lots of killers out there. It's a war. Those are liars. Reasonable probable, they are plentiful of liars. Reasonable probable, they are liars. Reasonable probable, they are liars itself. With rather our guys or probable our guys reasonable probable, also our guys does reasonable probable, our guys rather reasonable probable, our guys reasoned or reasoned of rather or reasoned for probable, also reasoned of, or also reasoned for our guys rather reasoned for rather reasoned for probable, rather reasoned of, or our guys doesn't understand what lies are. They sort of, that's its kung fu verbal or probably this gimmickry-ish mimicry, probable this gimmickry mimicry, probable this gimmick mimicries of these phrases, sentences, probable these numerous stuff, probable these numerous probable with those mimicries of tumbles our guys around. Well, it sort of could afford the attrition or sort of these damages dealt to its hijack corpse, and while our guys receive damages from these absurd routine that they deal to themselves. There's a war against Deutschland. If Hitler is not down, then the society is rather not even there. It's not a society at all. The Nazis want their number-based Nazi global domination. The mastermind and the mentns stick around until the guns pointed at numerous of them. It wouldn't be removed, or probably wouldn't be closer towards removal. It waits for our guys to speak a certain mistake and register falsely as a hate group. So the very persons that uphold, also the most popular persons, or reasonable popular persons, represent hate. This sort of Nazism is not necessarily from citizens. They're going to result to utter decimation, but from the numerous groups they target. What if Torrent Chieftain comes to these, namely of these cow slaughter places? How will Torrent Chieftain avenge himself? It's a whole list, isn't it? Not having even a concern on where there might be mistakes with that, then they are the criminals. Recent for probable also issue or recent of or probable recent versions of probable, which will have recent of or probable recent versions of probable, minor list of or probable recent or probable recent versions of or probable recent versions of recent of or probable recent versions of probable, minor optional. Recent for probable or also recent for probable also recent for probable or probable also recent for probable also recent for recent there for probable or probable or recent for probable recent or probable or recent for probable. That's it for this video. Or probable also recent for probable. That's it for this video. Recent for probable. That's it of this video. Also video instance of